We're in this season where every time there's a disaster, it troubles me. I put it on my Facebook. It really stirs people up. I think I enjoy it, actually. I don't know if it's the need for attention or if it's just what it is, but it's still in my life. But I'm not sure it's healthy, but I could just gauge it. Like within 24 hours of any major national disaster, prophecies come out about this, and they're all like, well, 15 years ago, we prophesied. 35 years ago, I wrote yesterday, if your clock is stopped, it'll still be right twice a day. I mean, if you keep prophesying the same thing at one point or 2 points in history, you'll be right. And then it validates that you got the two right because you delete the other prophecies from your Facebook and your website. You know the definition of stupidity? Doing the same thing the same way and thinking you're going to have a different outcome. I mean, we went through this with Y2K. I mean, the days, some of you maybe don't remember this, or maybe you didn't know the Lord in those days, but I mean, we went through this terrible stress through the days leading up to Y2K because many, even in our own tribe, were trying to get us to store food and become a refuge center for all the people and, get generators. And I think that, at some point, we have to realize, like, okay, Y2K, you got that wrong. Okay? You got it wrong. Okay, let's just say, I know the reason why you got it wrong is because people prayed and changed your prophecy. But these are the prophecies you've had many times. So either you have very good prayers or your prophecies just suck. So I'm concerned because we're not learning from history. And so I just, I put a little bit of that on my Facebook, and I had several people comment like, you're judging the prophets. And like, no, I'm not judging the prophets. I'm doing what 1 Corinthians 14 says. Let 2 or 3 prophets prophesy and let the others pass judgment. I don't pass judgment on prophets. We pass judgment on prophecies. Listen, it's not wrong to take a prophecy and say, I don't agree with that. As a matter of fact, that's the Bible. Listen, it's not wrong to take a prophecy and say, I don't agree with that. As a matter of fact, that's the Bible. So we're not supposed to judge people. See, in the Old Testament, we judge people and nations. In the New Testament, we judge prophecy. And so it doesn't mean, someone wrote me and said, which false prophets are you talking about? I'm not talking about any false prophet. I never said anybody was a false prophet because they got a bad word. I'm not saying anyone's a false prophet. I'm just saying, listen, real prophets are still supposed to have their words judged. So if you're going to put them out there publicly, if you're not going to get private judgment, if you're going to put the word out there publicly, then you're going to get public judgment of the prophetic words, which in my mind is right to say, I don't agree with that word. And that doesn't mean I don't like you. It doesn't mean I don't respect you. It doesn't mean I don't think you're amazing. It just means your prophetic word, I don't agree with your prophetic word. Someone wrote me and said, are you talking about so-and-so? Because I think so-and-so is amazing. And I said, I think so-and-so is amazing too. It doesn't mean I like their word. I think there needs to be some sort of separation between, hey, what you just did I don't think is okay, but you're amazing. And there has to be, listen, I don't know how to develop a prophetic culture if you can't separate the prophetic word. Listen, if it's your word, then I guess you should take it personal. If you said you thought it was from God, then I don't know why you'd take it personal if people said, I don't think that's the word of the Lord. And so I'm concerned that globally that we have these amazing prophets and prophetesses who I deeply respect, and I should tell you that I have missed many prophecies. I've got them wrong many times. So I want to just be really clear, like, I've got them wrong many times, and I have a great accountability team, and we've processed them many times, and I know that all of my team here would tell you that when I give a word, I say, this is the word, I think it's the Lord, you guys process it. And once I share it, it's theirs. I have to let it go. I mean, one way to make sure that you manipulate people is to make that word your duty to accomplish it. The word of the Lord it's the word of the Lord. It's the Lord's word. He's the one that either accomplishes it or does. If you have to make the word happen, I question whether it's the Lord. And so I think there is something about developing a culture where people can make judgments not about you, about the Word, and not have that reflect your relationship with them or their relationship with God. I am not saying that people who give words that I don't agree with, I'm not saying they don't have a better relationship with God than I have, or that I dislike them. I'm simply saying that right there, I don't think is right.